it looks to me like the announcement of an NFL team in London is going to be imminent. It's going to happen within the next 12 to 18 months. And if that were to happen, the next step would be do a Super Bowl in London. And if they did a Super Bowl in London, it would have to be a 9 o'clock game there. So it could be a 4 o'clock Eastern time, and it could be a 1 p.m. Pacific.
This is a bold proclamation here, Dennis. You think in the next 12 to 18 months, we will hear the NFL say we have a full-time team in London?
Absolutely. Absolutely. After this season, we will have completed 36 regular season games played in London since that international series started in 2007. That's the equivalent of more than 4 full seasons being played in London. Every single game has been a sellout. And the NFL wants to see this sport grow beyond our borders. They really want to see gridiron NFL-style football become an international product. So they've been working on these. There's an international players pathway program. This year, they had 11 players come out of that. 5 of them are from the UK. They've also got this global program that was working on global markets. 25 different teams have been assigned to 19 different cities and countries to generate fan interest and cultivate commercial opportunities. So all of these things are fitting together. And the one key that hasn't been talked about, but what I talk about in my book, is the return of supersonic transport aircraft. By the end of this decade, we'll be flying back and forth to London in 3.5 hours. And if you can do that, well, that's like flying from Boston to Miami. You could make that team into an AFC East team with no problem whatsoever.
So would you assume that it would be moving an existing NFL team or creating an expansion team in London?
I would recommend against moving a current team. I think you don't want to have any kind of baggage associated with that team. You don't want to have any hard feelings within the NFL. I just personally, but they haven't asked me, they're not on the phone to me asking,
right. Right.
But my recommendation would be you get a British owner. You don't import an American owner. You don't import an American way of doing things. Every NFL team thrives on its local roots and its local character. There isn't any other team in the NFL than Buffalo where people jump off their pickup trucks and land on folding tables, right? But in Buffalo, it's a great thrill. The Steelers, you got your terrible towels. There's this local character that builds up around these teams that makes them more valuable. So I think that's what I would recommend. They may decide that, it's better to have an established team go over there. Obviously, the Jacksonville Jaguars have been the team that's played the most. And this year they're playing back-to-back weekends. They're playing on the 13th and they're playing on the 20th. They're staying in London to play games. And one of the other things that part of the strategy is that Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where the first 2 of these games, the 6th and the 13th of October, are being played, that was built to NFL specifications. There is no changes needed. It's almost identical in size to State Farm Stadium in Arizona. I would see, all right, you get a London team, and what happens? You've got a new team, you got a new stadium, you get a Super Bowl. So I think that within 5 years or so after putting a team in London, it would host a Super Bowl, which would make this NFL football much more of a global presence.